Hello and welcome. My name is Dash of Dave. Well, you knew that anyway because it says so. Anyway, I'm Dash of Dave. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome if you're not. It's the same welcome whether you're new or not. So today I am participating in day 9 of the collaboration of the Christmas Craft Off 2024. Now, I've had to write it all down because you know me, I've got a memory of a sieve. A beautiful sieve, obviously, but just a memory of a sieve. And there's going to be 2 collaborators each day, so it's running from the 1st of November. So if you haven't watched the previous ones, go and watch those. The link to the website will be in the description. On the website, you will be able to find all of the participants. So like I say, each day there'll be 2 participants. My craft off partner stroke buddy stroke, I don't know, person thing. Sorry, it's not thing. Person is Shabby Dabby Doodah. So, I'm kind of amongst the upper echelon of crafting. There's little old me and Shabby Dabby Doodah. So it's so like I say, all the links and everything will be in the description. I'm going to be using a variety of kits. I will tell you, so my prompt is Vintage Carolling Ephemera. So both me and Shabby Dabby Doodah are doing Vintage Carolling Ephemera. Okay, so if I put a PTO on here because it just reminds me to turn over. So the things I'm going to be using today are coming from, there are 2 further kits. There's a fussy cutting kit and there's an ephemera kit. But these are the ones that I'm using. So they're coming from Nostalgic Noel Christmas Backgrounds number 1, Nostalgic Noel Christmas Backgrounds number 2, and Nostalgic Noel they're kind of like collage-y papers. So so they're just kind of, I think they're just called papers. So they won't want me to participate again because I'm rubbish at remembering things. I literally have to write everything down. I've read the instructions, the description 3 times over. I have to use read aloud software, so I've got to copy and paste it from one place to stick it in somewhere else so that it reads it aloud. Anyway, so, and that's because I'm dyslexic and autistic and amazing. So anyway, let's get on with it. So there's going to be a giveaway. Okay, so that's running during the event and it's going to be drawn a week after the event has finished, and that's to allow people to kind of catch up on videos. But what you need to do in order to enter is you need to watch all of the videos, you need to like the videos, and you need to comment on the videos, okay? Because that's showing your support. The whole idea of the collaboration is to kind of build support for everybody, not just for the big names, not just for Rach and Bella. So it's RachandBellaCrafts that are running this. So what was I going to say? So the other thing is, it's the weekend of bonfire night. It's the 5th of November is bonfire night for us. I'm filming this on Saturday the 2nd of November, and so it's usually when people are celebrating. So you might hear fireworks and things going off in the background. That's nothing I can do about it. I've tried to tell them to stop, but they just won't listen. So yes, you need to watch all the videos, you need to like the videos, and you need to comment on the videos. So I'm Dash of Dave, and if you want to find me or tag me or anything like that, then it's Dash of Dave 1. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Yes, I'm a small channel. I've got 713 videos. Well, this will be 700. No, this won't be the 714. I'll have filmed 2 other videos before this one. And I normally post 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and this one's coming out on a Saturday because that's part of the collaboration. So rather than doing an extra video, because I work full time as well, and put myself under pressure, I've decided to move my Friday video to Saturday. So if you're looking for my Friday video, it's not there. So anyway, I shall get on with it. So today we are going to make, we're going to make a little, let's get this out of the way, Dave. We're going to make, so I've made a prototype, which isn't finished, but I'll show you if you like. I'm going to make one of these, which is, this is a little caroling book, okay? So I'm going to show you how I came up with this. I'm not going to dwell on that one because we're going to make a beautiful one. Okay, so I've chosen my bits, and all I've done is I've just kind of cut things out to make it a little bit quicker because, you know, nobody wants to see me cut pieces of paper and, you know, cut pieces of card. Try again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I made it. Okay, so what you're going to need is, now I'm using A4 paper, okay, card, sorry, and that's because I'm in the UK, and that's our standard size. If you're in America, you just need to use US letter. I don't have any US letters, so I've made this out of A4 paper. So, card, not paper, Dave. Shut up. So, what you're going to need is you're going to need to take two of your either A4 or US letter, and all you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, and you're just going to score it down its spine, like so. I mean, you can do it with a flourish if you like. You can do it however you like. You don't have to do it like I've done. Okay, so that's the first step. So what we're going to do is, I haven't decorated it, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a notch out of the top of here. Okay, and that's because we're going to stick these together and make them into a pocket for the back. So in order to do that, Dave has to be ready. Oh, damn it. Dave's got to be ready. So I'm going to take my circle punch. I'm just going to eyeball it. You know, if you want to measure it and get it right in the middle, then you do. I'm going to do me. So I'm just going to do that. And before I stick it together, because I want it to look vintage, I'm going to ink it. And anybody that knows me knows that I like mine quite inky. I like mine to look kind of vintagey. I'm the self-proclaimed king of aging stuff. Self-proclaimed king of aging, which makes it sound like I'm getting old. I am. That's true. Very much true. So I'm a little bit nervous about today, so please bear with. And, you know, I realise that I'm going to be inking more than lots of people would normally ink, because that's just because I like it like that way. If you like it less inky, then do it less inky. If you like it different inky, you do it different inky. You do your inky and I'll do my inky. So I'm just going to do that edge first, because I'm going to stick it together and I wanted this bit to have some kind of ink on it before I stick it together. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay it down. So this piece goes over that because we've got the thumb notch in it, and I want the thumb notch on this side. So I'm going to glue. So obviously all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down this side. Oh, blimey. Oh no, I was going to say, oh, look at how straight that line is, but no, of course, it's not going to stay straight. I can't do very much straight, to be fair, so I'm just going to glue down the edges. And if you get it all wonky, don't worry about it too much. Just don't put a lot of ink on, otherwise you'll just end up with an inky mess. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck it into that fold just there, and then bring the back round. so that it'll sit within the fold. So you want this still fold over, is what I mean. You don't want to glue over that edge. So I'm already taking everybody over the edge with me. So there we go. So that's that bit. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink around the rest of it. So I may well just edit this video so that you don't have to watch me ink it, because, like I say, it's like watching paint dry. And that's one of my other videos. No. No, it's not, honestly. Don't make you watch paint dry. I usually cut out the paint drying. So now that I have inked on, like I say, I do go very heavy on the ink. There is a bit of a method to my madness. I'm thinking Vintage Carolling Ephemera, you would have been carrying like some kind of a lantern or a candle, and the smoke coming off that would have like made it look a bit, you know, dirty. You would have had dirty fingers, you know. Anyway, that's my kind of method to my madness. But we're not going to leave it like this. Obviously, we're going to stick some panels onto it. So the panels are going to come from the kit. So these are the ones that I've chosen. So this is the outside, and I've made the outside look a bit dirtier. The other thing that I like, by the way, is I like folding it rather than using a bone folder to fold it. So rather than, scoring it and then folding it, because I like this kind of crease that you get. And if you're going to ink over it, you kind of pick that creasiness up, and it makes it feel, just for me, a little bit more authentic. So these are what I'm going to use on the outside. Now this is one of the background kits. So I'm one of the backgrounds, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them on the panels. So you see, it covers a lot of what I've done up, but also gives it a bit of a dirty edge. Now, what I will do is I'll also just ink round these so we don't get this white edge on the edge of here, which, you know, I'm not teaching you to suck eggs. I'm just telling you, because there could be some newbies watching me, new people to craft, and we do get a bit carried away when we're you know, experienced crafters, and think that everybody understands that step. But you know, when I first came to craft, well, papercraft, I didn't. So, well, I came to papercraft a long time ago as a child, but I hadn't discovered junk journaling really until about, I don't know, about 7 years ago. And then I kind of fell hook, line and sinker into it. Turned my spare room, the house that I own has a, well, had a spare room, it doesn't anymore, it's now a craft studio. Turned that into my craft studio, and the rest is history. So, and now I'm saying to a crafty friend of mine, Joe, the other day, about how, well, she was also saying the same thing. You look at packaging now in a completely different way and think, I can't throw that away. So, and I get a lot of my paper. So this card, this was from, I go to a kind of a scrap place where they rescue things from landfill, and that's where I got it from. So we're going to stick those onto there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some wet glue. Sorry, stick glue and some wet glue. Okay, I'm going to get an old magazine as my glue book, and I'm going to use some stick glue. So I'm going to generally stick glue generally stick glue it, and then glue the edges with wet glue to make sure it kind of adheres, or at theirs. It doesn't have to be here, it could be there. So, yeah, say yes, Dave, you think you're funny. Yes, you think you're funny, but nobody else does. There's a song in everything. I definitely think that my life is a bit of a musical. You know, not all musicals are happy. So, Les Miserables, for instance. I don't know whether that's I've never actually watched it. You know, Should we make sure it's the right way up first, Dave? Yeah, it is. I think I tend to find that plants tend to grow better if they grow up than if they grow down. So we're going to pop that on there. And I loved this. I loved this kit, but I really loved these darker ones because you don't tend to get darker colours, and I really am a fan of the darker, more moody colours. I'm not a big pastel person. You know, some are okay, but I'm not. Anybody that knows me, I kind of like utilitarian kind of style. I make a lot of boxes, and I also make junk journals, and I've just recently finished my grimoire, which is epic, and if you haven't checked it out, you really must. I'll link it in the description. And I make a lot of vintage ephemera, well, vintage looking ephemera. It's not vintage because I made it. So I don't know which way it is, up that way, possibly. I'll put that on there. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing I do, and it kind of all fits. These colours definitely fit. So there's a little bit of a white edge there, so I'm just gonna knock it back with that. Knock it back. Okay, Dave, shut up, Dave. Getting carried away. You're nuts. That's why. Anyway, it's because you're nervous. That's why. I tend to talk more, and I don't tend to talk very much sense when I'm nervous. I'm nervous because this is a big thing, you know, this kind of collaboration. Because Rach from RachandBella approached me to ask me to be involved because they'd asked on a video who they thought should be involved, and people had said me, so more than one person had said me, and I didn't even know that people knew or was, let alone. But like I say, I've been going for 5 years now. I've got 2,243 subscribers at last count, and 700 and something videos. Yeah, 3 times a week I put videos out. So that's the outside. Yeah, so all I did was I just cut those panels to size, and what I did was I measured them. So this one is actually, so these are in centimeters, but like, you know, you're going to measure your panels however they are. So these were 15, and so I just cut these down to 14, each one of these panels. So I've got like a half a centimeter, which half a centimeter is that much, so that's like a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. So, and then inside we're going to have some panels, and these are the ones that I thought I really liked, this combination like that. So it's keeping it quite Christmassy. Now I won't forget to put, I'd say I won't forget, I could possibly forget to put a divot in that, but maybe I should do the divot first. So what I'm going to do is I'm just pop that on there, and I'm just going to rub my nail on it because I'm cutting this after the fact, and I really could do with knowing where that divot needs to be, because I could just, if I'd cut it in the middle, Dave, you'd have known. You could have just done that, found the middle and done it with this one. Right, so that's where the middle is. There, that's all I've done. I've kind of picked it up on the back, which is, I've picked up the ink from there, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is I need something a bit thicker than that, because I know this paper will just jam my this. This is the universal sign for one of these. For a circle punch, that's the word, circle punch. So I'm just going to pop that behind there, put that in there, and then just cut that just a little bit over that, because I want a bit of clearance Oh, Dave, if you weren't as nervous, you'd have a steadier handle. Though I'm not a brain surgeon, so I'm not notorious for having a steady hand. So. There we go. Cool. So, get rid of that. So the reason I did that and went a little bit over is so that I get a bit, so you can see the edge of that pocket. So, like I say, I'm just going to ink this off. And obviously you can see the ink on this better because it's not a dark colour, but I do love the darkness. Now, because I want it to be more of have a more of a grubby vintage appeal, I'm going to just put my brush over the whiter bits of these. So where it's got like really white bits, I'm just going to go over this because that's what I want to do. I don't have to explain myself. I'm just doing it. Just do it, Dave. Oh, blimey, how many times have I heard that in my life? Just do it, Dave. So, yeah, so I'm just like making it look a bit more, I was going to say grubby, but like people don't like that word, but I do. I think it kind of fits with the kind of thing that I do, that's why. So, again, just ink. No, not ink. This is not ink, Dave. If you're inking with this, you've gone wrong. I'll just, actually, I don't really have to explain my fingers, but I will just say I have had, they're a little bit pink, and it's not, haven't burnt myself or anything like that. I have dyed some string, dyed it red, and I did it with just some, I used forget it, Dave, trying to speak. No, again, try again. Lumberjack plaid, or plaid, whatever, however you pronounce it. Ink, so just the water-based stuff. You know, the distress ink. I've used that. And normally I don't wear gloves to do anything with because, like, you know, you get it all over your hands and you wash it off and it's a little bit stained, you know, slightly, you know, if you're using vintage photo or whatever, you get like a bit of a tan, or it looks like you've been smoking heavily because you get it between your fingers. But but I'd completely forgotten about the fact that, you know, red is a notorious colour for really staining, and I had to go to the supermarket yesterday with like a really bright red, and I'm talking this colour, my fingers, these three, my thumb, and these three on this hand, like kind of down to this kind of knuckle at both sides, like very red. Oh dear, I just walked around, hands in my pockets. You know, I mean, those people that know me anyway know that I work in quite a professional role. I'm a resources manager for a charity, and the amount of meetings that I go to with like stained fingers, or where I've got something on my hand and then scratched my eyebrow and got it in my eyebrow, or, you know, I'm not proud. People know me at work, so they know I'm a crafter. They know what I'm a bit of a klutz sometimes. So, you know, they just, well, we just have interesting conversations. That's all. What have you been making today? Is the kind of conversation we have. So yeah, the whole point of me making this is I wanted it to look like a caroller's book. You know, like when you went caroling. I've got an image of a lady with one of those hoods up, wrapped round around her face, with, you know, like late 19th century, early 20th century, with a lantern on one of those crooks. I don't want to sound silly, but I've kind of named her. I've already given her a name, so I like, that's what I do, is I tend to build characters in my head and then make things for the character, and you know, and she's Gwen. That's what her name is, Gwyneth. And she's been out caroling. There's a lot of them, and they've been, you know, walking through the snow, singing songs to raise money for the poor. And yes, so that's who I've got in mind for this. So, like I said, I'm just going to put these panels on. So these are the 3 panels. So again, all from RachandBellaCrafts kit. So all I'm doing is I'm using the lid of my glue, just because it slides nicely, and it just make sure it presses it all down. Otherwise, you end up with a bit of a bubble, or you know, an air pocket. So that's the inside. So the next bit is we're going to make a diagonal pocket for here, and we're going to make a wraparound for here. So let's do the diagonal pocket. So just going to talk about how I did this. Now, what I didn't do is I could have put a panel of paper on here, and then cut it. But because of the way that I'm going to do it, is I'm going to use this, and instead of having it having it so that I flip it round and then it ends up being upside down, I'm going to cut the panels as I go. So that's what I'm going to do. So what I want to do is I just want to place that on there. Now, Dave, put it that way around first, and then have an idea of where I want it to cut, where I want to cut it. And again, I want to keep that bit of an edge all the way round. So I'm just going to go, see where the cardboard ends here. I've just gone a little way in from there and a little way in on this side, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those to meet each other. Now, I like to cut with a blade, because I'm just so used to cutting with a blade. If you're not used to cutting with a blade, please don't cut with a blade. Please don't let Christmas be the first time you try cutting with a blade, because it might not end well, and I don't want to be your source of inspiration for cutting something off, thanks. I don't want to be blamed, thanks. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that sloped edge, because I cut them both at the same, these 2 pieces of card from 1 piece of card. So what I did was I took a piece of card like this, and then all I did was, on a paper cutter, is instead of cutting it like this, I just cut it on an angle. And I just thought, right, what's the shortest bit, what's the shallowest part of this pocket that I'd like? And I went for this, which is approximately 2 inches. It might not be. Oh, it's there or thereabouts. So I had a look at it like this, put it on an angle. What kind of an angle do I want? And then I just cut it. And then that gives me my 2 pieces. There you go, like that. And then you know that this diagonal line is the same on both, because it's cut from 1 piece of card. So that's what I did. That's how I did it. And now you know all my trade secrets. Take them to my grave with me normally, but you you know, on this occasion. It's Christmas. Well, it's not. It's November, but it soon will be. I'm allowed to mention the C word now. So at work, it's been banned because we're not allowed to mention it until after Halloween, and I don't celebrate Halloween. So, although I made a grimoire, I don't celebrate it. I don't have kids though, so although I guess you could use that same argument for, well, you don't have kids, but you celebrate Christmas. No, it's like I am a big kid, that's why. So they're going to go on there. That should be lovely. Right, I'm just going to ink these. Again, I will come back to you. So I've also inked these down as well. So these just need to be, just because they were a bit white in the background, and obviously they're not going to stay white if it's been around for over 100 years. So it will have aged, you know, all paper yellows to a certain extent. And this is just how my brain works. This is just my logic and reasoning, and it works for me. It keeps me alive. So I'm definitely autistic in my literal interpretation of the world. Generally quite good at hiding my autism normally, but some things like this, not so good at. So just that one, and then we're going to do this one in a similar way. We're just getting in a bit of a mess, and my fingers are getting gluey. That was a quandary about, you know, when you first start crafting, is not really that keen on having sticky fingers, but it does seem to be that I don't like having naturally sticky fingers. My fingers aren't naturally sticky. I'm not an octopus. An octopus? If you don't know what that reference is, then clearly you've not watched my videos before. I'm trying to turn that into a meme. An octopus. So I don't have naturally sticky fingers. What I mean is, you know, when like you eat fruit, or you have something that's got sugar in it, and you get that stickiness, especially between your fingers. Oh, I don't like that. I do not like that sensation at all. But I am a bit fussy about sensation and that sort of thing. So we're going to pop that onto there, and hopefully they will sit nicely on top of each other. They came from the same piece of card, so they should. I just want to make sure that will sit in there as well. I want to make sure it sits inside the fold. It does. So I'm going to glue these to each other first, and of course we don't have to worry about the inside of the pocket. Nobody's going to see it. I don't know how people manage to keep desks clean and clear, and I really don't know how people, you know, when they do these craft room tours. This is another thing me and Joe were talking about the other day. When they do these craft room tours and everything's all pristine and perfect, and it never looks like anybody's ever crafted in it. They may well never have crafted in it, but my craft room does not look like that. It does not. And if you've never seen my craft room, I've also got a craft room tour on I've got several, because I've changed my craft room around a lot. This way round, this is my latest one that I did in this year. This has been the best way that I've organised it. I can find things are nicely to hand. It's been amazing. So it's working, so don't fix it if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the saying, isn't it, Dave? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a page band. So I don't like that. That's the other thing I don't like. If you're new here, I don't like the term belly band. Don't like the word belly, to be fair. So we're going to make a page band here. So what we're going to have is, it's going to be, this is my, I always make a prototype of everything. So we're going to have it as a page band like this, but we're also going to have it as another page band that's a different style. So what I'm going to do is, this is not, we don't have to worry about accuracy or anything here. I'm just trying to get this in the middle. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to fold that piece over that there, then flip it round, and that way then I kind of know I've got the middle of it. It's kind of going to go there, and then we're going to fold this one over, and we're just going to fold it this side of it. And again, I'm not measuring it, I'm just folding it because I want it to be just inside of this line. So just so that both ends sit just inside of this panel. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to cover this bit here. Again, here's one I made earlier. I'm just going to ink this. What I've done is I have now inked this. Now obviously I haven't inked the back of it, and I haven't inked these panels because we're going to stick something to those. What we're going to do though is we're going to stick this onto the inside panel, just onto here. So we'll just do that. Oh, well, I'm just throwing something on the floor. No idea what it was. It's just gone. It'll be there for a few weeks before I pick it up. So let's do that, and then I'm just going to do the same as I have done all along. Just put a bit of wet glue all the way around, just to make sure it all stays nice and stuck down. Try and get it off the thing. I should have turned the page, Dave. Don't tear. Don't you tear. Don't you dare. Tear. Don't you tear. Shut up, Dave. So, on there, pop that on. I'm just going to rub that on into place. Cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stick some tags. Now what I've already done is I've already inked these, because I thought while I was doing the others I'd ink it all. So they're going to stick on there and on there. So all I've done is, this is a full length piece of A4. If you're using US letter, it would just be a full length, whatever it is, and you're folding it. Okay, so you're doing it the long way, so that's the full length of it, not the width of it. Okay, and then these have been cut to 2.5 by 4, which is the same. So this 2.5 wide, which is the same as this, by 4 inches, which is just short of meeting in the middle. So if you line it up with the bottom here, and you line that one up with the top. Oh, sorry, not just short. Yes, there you go. Just short of meeting. So cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue this on, and what we're going to do is we're just going to put a line of glue at the top. But remember, it's a page band, so if you're going to shove things behind it, you want it kind of just have a bit wider panel of glue there. So we're just going to pop that down. We'll need to get that middle again. So on there, I know that white line is the middle. So if I go there, and that's about the middle. There and there. And just press that down at the top, press it down at the bottom. Okay, and just push it a little bit in before I glue it down, and that way then it presents itself. You know, I like a page band or a pocket to kind of present itself, so it kind of puckers up a little bit. That way then you can get things in them without having, like, trying to find where it is, you know, doing that, and you end up with a scraggy corner. So These bits, I'm just going to put a panel of this on it, on each of them. I've already inked these in advance because I'm good like that. Well, I'd like to say I'm good like that, but I don't always remember. I don't always remember like that. So this is a very old craft book, so just going to put a bit of glue around that. And I'm not even going to bother this time with the wet glue around the outside. Just going to light on there. Like that. Just smooth it down. I usually use a credit card, or not a credit card, but you know, like a plastic card, like a credit card size thing for smooching down, but I've got the glue out, so I might as well just use what I've got to hand. And it's shiny plastic, so it is. Oh, Dave, the wrong. You always do that. Put it down the wrong way, and then I wonder why I've got a sticky patch on my mat. So that's going on like that. And again, just doing it down. Right, okay, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back to back so that wherever I make the hole in it, it's going to line up. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly in the middle that way then. So I'm going to make a hole. I'm not going to bother with the crocodile because it needs a bit of an oil and it's squeaking a lot and I don't like the sound of it, so it's the sensory thing again. So there you go. And then so that when you do it that way, they line up with each other, whereas if I'd done it that way round, they might not line up. See, they don't. They have to be like that to line up. So, but that way then they line up. So I'm going to stick that onto there. Okay, so one of the things though I've just thought about is when you flip it down, you're going to see all this on the back. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll make another. Hadn't thought about it. Didn't be very honest with you. Didn't even cross my mind. What we'll use some more of this one, I believe. I don't think I've got enough of that one. No, I don't, because I only printed one sheet of each. So what we'll do is we'll make some more of this. So I will be back to you in a thrice. Just bear with me a second, folks. I've done that. Sorry about that. But you know, anybody that's watched me before will know I'm quite happy to leave my mistakes in. So I am not perfect. I'm not a qualified crafter. And if anybody tells you that they are, there's no such thing. So I'm not going to overly ink this side, because it's going to be the side that is normally tucked away, so they wouldn't necessarily have got as grubby looking. But I'm just going to glue it down. And then peel it off the thing. Oh, don't you dare. I'm sticking to my fingers as well, that's not good. So, just going to do that. And I'm going to have a little bit of an ink on around the edge. Just because I can. And I will. And I should. And I did. More to the point. And I have. So, there we go. So that's that. But I just need to punch that hole now. So I'm just going to line it back up again in there. Well, easier said than done. Like that. Cool. Chewed it a little bit. So there we go. Like that. Cool. Okay, so then what we want to do is I'm going to get, so this is the reason why I like using these teardrop things, is I'm just going to put a little blob of ink around that hole just to give it a little bit of an age, and you don't see the white on the bit that you've just cut out. That's what I like about those. So they are going to go on here, like, which way around? That way. I'm not going to worry about this bit. In fact, actually, do you know what? We could actually make that into a little pocket if we wanted to, but we're not. So what I was going to say is if you ink round 3 sides, you could make it into another little pocket. We won't, but you could. So I'm going to glue that down like that. I'm going to take this one, we're going to do the same on this side, just glue it down. Glue that one down. Again, just press them down a bit. Okay, cool. So that's that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some string. So this is the string that I was dyeing, and it's turned out really nice. I like it. So, you know, it's not gone horribly wrong or anything like that. It just was very messy. So just going to cut a bit of string, and I'm going to loop it through there, like so. And I'm going to take another piece of string. I don't have to worry about it being the same length. I can have it different lengths. And I'm going to love dyeing string. I've got so much string that I've dyed different colours because, you know, at the end of the day, why not? So that's those. So they can be tied together like that, and put a little bow in it. Not very good at tying bows, but there we go, that's that. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a pocket on this panel. So that's going to be the front there, and we're going to put a pocket on this panel. Okay, we're also going to do another little thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a ribbon tie. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so let's put this pocket on and then I'll come to the ribbon tie because I'm kind of leaping ahead of myself here. Okay, we're going to put this onto here. Just put that on there. And I liked this because it's got poinsettia on, like, well, kind of in parts of that it's got poinsettia. I think that's a bit of poinsettia. Those leaves definitely are. So we're going to pop that on there, but we're going to take a chunk out of it because we should, and we will. Okay, fireworks are really starting now. It's dark outside though now, so it will be. It's no point setting fire. Well, you like to tell people there's no point setting fireworks off during the day. You can't see them, but it doesn't stop people doing it, does it? So, okay, we're going to just do a line of glue there, a line of glue there, and a line of glue there. Okay, I'm going to pop that onto there. Okay, so what we're going to do, well, it's kind of hanging over the edge, so let's just cut that off. Just ink that edge so you can't see it. Cool, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this a tie. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a hole in this end, and we're going to make a hole in this spine. Now I'll show you how I made mine. So I've got my slot punch, okay. So all I did was I made a hole in this end of it, kind of in the middle again. Just I only ever eyeball things, but if you want to make it perfectly in the middle, you can. and you have to kind of press it a bit hard. So that's the slot that I've got, okay, and then all I've done is I brought it over to here, okay, and then I've taken a bit of an eyeball of where it is on that spine and just pencil marked it. Don't think that's stuck down that end. No, it hasn't. I'll come back to it in a minute. Okay, so pencil marked it here. So what I've done now is, so this is the outside, so I've folded it back on itself, and I'm just going to take a chunk out of there. Now it's not as easy to do when you can't see it because it's covered by the thing, but I'm just going to take a chunk out of that spine like that, and then I'm going to cut up to it like that. Okay, so you've got like a little hole here now. I'm going to just rub that pencil mark out, and then I'm just going to ink around that now because it's got, you can see the core of the card. Okay, so too many things going on, too many things. Put the lid on that, otherwise then this will end up in that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of ribbon. Okay, so got a piece of ribbon. This has come off a, this has got a sticky end because it's come off a, it went round a, I think it was round a little mini birthday cake. I can't remember what it was round. It might have been round a birthday cake, it might have been round something else, it might have been round the houses, who knows. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick another bit of sticky stuff, but this time my bit of sticky stuff and not just what was left over from last time. Double-sided red tape, you know, the really strong bond stuff, and just rub that on there with my nail, and then try and get the backing off this. You might have to come back to me in about 3 days when this has happened, but sometimes it works straight away, other times not so much. I wouldn't suggest using a blade to do it, but if you've got nails, that's great. I mean, my nails aren't terribly short, but I have recently cut them, so. Okay, so what this is going to do, oh, where's that piece gone there? So, this is going to go through this slot that I've made. Yep, and it's going to just glue itself onto the page and onto itself. So it's going to go on there, and then you're going to flip that back over to itself. So that's going to be there. So that's, you could put a stitch in that, or you could do whatever you want. So then this is going to go through here. And then this is going to be how you tie it up. So that wraps around there, and then round and through itself like that. Okay, but before we do that, let's stick that pocket back on again as well. Okay, stick the pocket on because it fell off. I also think it needs to be cut down a little bit more. So, where's my thing gone? It's there. Where's it gone? Oh, it's there. So let's try again. Stick this down. Not as easy to stick it down a second time because then you've got like the plastic coating of where the glue was, and it's no longer as porous, so it doesn't always stick as well the second time, although this didn't stick very well the first time, did it? So let's use something else to press it down with. Like that. So that's going to be our outer bit. But also what we're going to do is we're just going to close this like this, and we're going to make a hole in the top here. Now we're going to make a hole through both of these. So this is the side that we've just put the ribbon through. Okay, so it's the right hand side. Sorry, I'm really rubbish at left and right, so don't get driving directions from me. Then I'm going to take my hole thing and I'm just going to punch a hole in that corner, but not too far in. Maybe I will use the crocodile this time because I might have a bit more leverage on that. More leverage. Let's poke the thing out. Can't see the hole. Can't see the wood for the trees because there's all stuff in me. What's it in me hoogie? Right. Me hoogie what's it? So I'm just going to go into there, wherever the hole was there. And I'm going to make a hole in both of them, okay? And then I'm going to take, so that I've just made the hole in both there. So that's the two of them. Okay, this is the top, remember? And then I'm going to use a little circle punch to punch that bit out completely. Okay, so like that. Okay, and then we're going to ink that, and then you'll see why I've done that in a second. Okay, because what we're going to do now is we're going to have should we use this one? So I've got some nice ribbon here. This one says Merry Christmas on it. Okay, I'm just going to make a loop. I want it to kind of be a wrist loop. So it doesn't have to go around my wrist, but somebody's wrist. I'm sure Gwen has a daintier wrist than I do. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten that up like that. Just cut them both off flat for a minute. Okay, but then I'm going to make them into a fishtail. There you go. And then we're going to pass that through the back, from the back through to the front. Okay, this end as well, we're going to make fishtail so it doesn't all fry. That's just the way a fishtail is. So just fold it over and then cut from the middle, so the fold out, and then you end up with the fishtail. Okay, right, so now I've tidied up, we're just going to do the finishing touches. So I've got a few things here. So I have made a tag before, just because it was kind of giving me the idea of what I was going to make. So we'll put the tag in the back, and then we've got something for the front. So all I did, by the way, is I just put used a slot punch, threaded some ribbon through it, and then used my rusty staples in my trusty stapler. Yep, that. And then we're just going to put some things in it. And I've also got this. Now, this is a page from the kit, so it's this. All I've done is I've used it as a background on some, because I'm no good at writing. My writing is rubbish. I'm dyslexic. I hate my writing. So all I've done is I've just printed some text over the top of it because I wanted it to be Gwen's Carolling Companion, and I have then redlinered it round the outside. Now the reason for redlinering it is we're going to get a little bit messy, so you just have to bear with. So what we're going to do is I am planning to gild it. So I've got my gilding stuff here. So you know me, I do a lot of gilding, so it doesn't kind of worry me. But I'm just going to get my I'm going to get my bits out, but like, you know, be careful what I say. So all I've got is my gilding brush, and I've got my like just a brush that's a little bit more coarse for brushing it off with. And I wanted to do it in gold, and I'm hoping I've still got some gold. Usually got something. Oh, there's a lot of silver. Might have to be silver. Let's have a look. Just bear with me. There's a lot of copper as well. Oh, there's some bits of gold. All that's left is a band of gold. Oh no, look, there's some here. There's some sheets that have kind of got folded over, and there's some remnants. That's fine. We'll use a few remnants. Right, if you're gilding, you just have to be very careful that all the bits don't go everywhere. Because also you have to remember that they're metal, and you don't want to be getting into any kind of electrics or anything like that. So, like I say, I've already done the red liner, and it's not going to be perfect, but I don't want a couple of things. I don't want it to be perfect because I want it to look vintage, so I do want it to be a little bit. What I like about red liner tape is you get a straight edge, but not too straight. So yeah, I don't know whether you get what I mean, but I need to find my. I've tidied up and moved everything. So I've had to turn one of my lights off to do this, because otherwise it might have gone look a little bit darker for you, and that's just because when I'm gilding, if there's too much light, I find it really hard to see what I'm doing. So I'm normally a consummate professional and leave the light on, so that you can see what I'm doing. But on this occasion, I need to see what I'm doing. So all I'm doing is I'm just peeling the back off of the red liner tape, which so far is going okay. But you know what red liner tape's like. Sometimes it comes off, and other times you're there for days. So if I'm here for days, don't worry, I'll edit it. So that you don't have to sit and watch me. Right. No, that's fine. It all came off. So. Right, you just have to make sure not to breathe now, because you don't want it to just go flying. So I'm just going to take a piece. Now, you can, if you have hair, you can do this in your hair. I don't have much hair though, but you're going to try and create static, but I don't, as I say, don't have hair, so I'm just going to lay it down over the edge. And you have to put on more than you need. But I'm just going to tear away some of the excess. You see, and then it gets stuck to you. And then I'm just going to relay the excess in various parts. That's a little bit small. So I do have a waste thing, waste gilding thing. So. But I just thought this kit really lent itself to this, so I'm just going to tear a little bit of it off. Now my hands are extra dry, so I didn't put any moisturiser on my hands this morning, and that's because I knew I was going to do this, and if they were too oily, I'd find it sticking to me rather than to the area that I want. So I'm just going to lay it down. Try and pick up all the bits. My mat is more sticky than I am. But I think it just gives it that kind of finishing touch, because I wanted it to. Oh, you see, look, that's what happens when you stop concentrating. You start breathing and stop concentrating. So I'm just going to pull that up a bit. Yeah, I wanted it to kind of finish the whole look of it, so Gwen's Carolling Companion will be nice and completed, and then you just want to go around and make sure that you've got it all stuck to every bit. and around the edges as well, because the edge of the liner tape is also quite sticky. So I'm just going to go around and tamp it all. And I've gilded loads of things, so I don't just gild it in my paper craft. I gilded all. I buy a lot of old frames from charity shops, etc. And just re-gild them, or if they weren't even if they weren't gilded, I gild them. So I'm just going to pop that into there and just sandwich it between two sheets, and then I'm going to use this. Oh, that's the bigger waste one. See, it's all gone a bit pear-shaped in here. This is what you get for not being as tidy as you. You start off with great intentions, and then I don't know anybody else, whether anybody else is like this, but my craft room is like this. So start off with great intentions, and then it all goes downhill. So all the little bits I don't bother keeping like separate colours. I kind of just mingle them in together, and then I've got a nice kind of a mix, so I can have a random thing going on. So pop that on there. And then we're just going to go over and just tamp it a bit more. So we're just going to use the lid now. See, look, any slightest breeze. Use the lid. What I like about the lid is because it's plastic, it picks up, it's got a lot of static, so it kind of clings to this stuff anyway. So I'm just going to brush away the bigger pieces. And I don't want to crease the paper, so I'm just going to brush it away and try and hold it down a little bit. Don't want to go too full on. You don't want to create a lot of draft either, because then it all just blows away. So all these tiny bits will go into my tiny container, which you'd think it'd be the other way around, wouldn't you? The bigger bits would be in here, and but it fell that way. Okay, so at work I am now going to be covered in bits of glitter. So those meetings that I have next week, yeah, well, the people know that I'm a crafter, so they know that I'm usually covered in something. If it's not paint, it's glitter. If it's not glitter, it's gilding flakes. So now I'm just going to go around with the firmer brush and just brush away any extra bits. You don't want to brush too hard though, because you end up like scouring it. And if I was super talented, I would have used my size, or C's, depending on who you are, where you come from and what you want to call it. I would have used my size to write her name, Gwen's Carolling Companion, but I have terrible writing, like I say. So, okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to pop this on the front of it. So just fold it all in, and that's going to sit on there. So I think that looks beautiful, if I say so myself. And I have, so. And I'm just going to glue it with some wet glue. Sorry, gone quiet. Concentrating. I'm concentrating, you just have to bear with me. It's very rare. People love it when I concentrate at work, because it's rare that I'm quiet. So I'm not necessarily talking about anything interesting. I'm just talking. So I'm going to put it so that it sits above where the ribbon is going to be. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I mean, like, you know, take your time over something like this to get it straight, but I'm happy with that. There we go. Cool. So gold into the glue. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it up with a few things. So we'll put some music paper, because you know it's a caroling companion. We want it to be. It's the problem, we end up with bits of glitter stuck to everything, every loose bit of glue. We want it to be chocked full of beautiful songs to sing. I think that'll go in there, won't it? I really miss the days, those old days when you used to have carolers coming to your door, but you know, I'd rather have a caroller coming to my door asking for money than a trick-or-treater coming to my door asking for sweets, because I don't go in for them. What shall I put? Shall I put those? Let's put those in here. I won't undo it, I'll just leave it all kind of done up for now. Just pop it in there, and then we can have, will that go in there? Let's maybe put one of these in there. Let's put that in there. That will go nicely in there. Will that go in there? No, I'll tell you what, let's cut this down. Or should we put that in there? No, let's put that back in there, Dave. Because I've put everything away. This is what you get for being tidy, Dave. This is life when you're tidy. Oh, there we go. That's why my life is not tidy. Tidy room, tidy mind. Yeah, tidy. My mind is not tidy. So I'm just going to take off the excess on this here, and then give it a bit of a smoosh over with a bit of colour. Don't want to go too heavy, so just what's on here. Put that in there. Put that back in the back of there. And then Gwen can whip out a piece of paper. She can have it on here. She can hold it and sing her song and know she's got all of the things with her, all of the songs she wants to sing. Sing a song, make it simple. Yeah, Dave, nobody wants to hear you sing. Nobody wants to hear you sing. I sing in probably 90% of my videos. And some people have said that you know they like me singing, but obviously they're a glutton for punishment because they're because I can't sing. If I'd had my dad's voice, I would have been very happy. But I got my mum's voice, and alas, me and my mum used to love singing. But my dad used to love singing as well. He used to do amateur operatics and stage productions and all the musicals and stuff. So that really does remind me of Christmas. So I'm going to fold it all up, tuck that in there, pop that, close that. So there you go. So you can have it nice and full, and yet it'll still be easily. Let's see if we can tie this easily tied up so she can carry it around. So there you go. So that is Gwen's Carolling Companion. So Caroller's Companion is what I've kind of called it. Done it for the collaboration with RachandBellaCrafts. All the kits are from her. Obviously the music paper is just some stuff that I had. And you know, the ribbon and all of that is too. And at the moment there is a percentage off. I think it's 40% off all of the kits, and you can head over to RachandBella's website for that, and I will link that in the description. So hopefully I have inspired you to do something. I hope you've liked what I've done. You know how you can tell me if you've liked it. You can definitely tell me by liking this video. If you're new here as well, please consider subscribing. I am a small channel, although I do have over 700 videos, and I release a video 3 times a week and do a full-time job. So so yeah, I'd really be grateful of your support. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out Shabby Dabby Doodah for her take on Vintage Carolling Ephemera. So, and that's it. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching me. Thank you for staying with me, and I will see you all, hopefully, in the next video. So, take care, folks. Lots of love. Good luck to everybody else that's participating in this. And thank you to everybody that has participated already. Really great collaboration. And I will see you all very soon. I'm going to send you lots of love now. But remember, I love you all, without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.